Hey everybody, it's Roly. So I wanted to just jump in really quickly to have a conversation about some of the things that are happening. So with all the craziness of being shut down yesterday and not being able to like get on to social media and which we were really rely on, right? So there's a lot of us that have had conversations saying like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? What is it that's going to be happening? So I wanted to be able to share this yesterday. However, that just didn't come to fruition yesterday. So, but I wanted to be able to talk to you guys about something that is coming up. It starts on September. September. Apparently, I'm rolling back the time, and we're going back to September. So it starts on October 12th, and so it's called Sister Soul Medicine. So this is something that I have offered before, and it's going to be an annual thing that I'm going to offer it one time a year where we actually get together. Hello, Francine. And so, one of the things that is kind of interesting is, or at least I think that it's interesting, is that people like Francine who have already participated in Sister Soul Medicine get to come back and join us again during our live. And so, and people sometimes say, well, okay, well, why is it that they're going to get to come back? And so, for one of the things that I've done with this particular program is that you have 10 lessons. And so over the course of the next 5 months, we actually go through and we tap into the 10 lessons, actually, 5 months, 5 months, 10 lessons. And so one of the things that we want to be able to do during this time is be able to have everyone be able to have a sense of belonging and having a feeling of being understood and supported and a better understanding of who you are, and that you actually get to feel happier and more alive. You get to sleep better, worry less, and have better, stronger relationships. Now, does it take everything away? No, absolutely not. And so one of the things that's actually kind of interesting, and I was talking to somebody about this today, and they were like, wow, that's pretty incredible, is that so over the course of the 5 months, we actually tap into like 10 different topics, and we kind of dive in, and then we have group coaching. So one week we get a lesson, the next week we have group coaching, and so on and so forth until the 5 weeks are over. And then of course there's other things that are like components of it that you have extra things. But the part of it that's actually really neat is that we actually get to go through and experience what it is that's happening. And so why it's a good thing for people like Francine who are able to come back again for a second round is that we get to tap into, so like whatever it is that so when we're making changes, we make changes, and we there's always like that part that is what word am I looking for? So it is that we have a part of us that we make changes, and things shift, and things, and we can actually tweak certain parts of things. So for example, one of the topics that we have is about being able to set boundaries. And so some people are like, yeah, well, I still didn't set boundaries. Well, not necessarily. What boundaries did you establish, and what boundaries is it that you were able to do? So like being able to set a limit, and being able to, and first of all, it could be simply just being able to create awareness. And but being able to come back again for the next round allows us to be able to go back through. And so like that's called the spiral situations, right? So like you actually have like the spiral staircase where like you're going up, but each time that you go up, and so you're there, you take whatever lessons, you do whatever it is that you need, and then you then come back to it again with a different perspective, right? So like you have where you've actually been able to make changes. So I often hear from people who was like, oh, this is coming back up again, and I already dealt with this. Like, why is it that I'm dealing with it again? And sometimes it's because we need to go back and revisit part of that again, and to be able to have that part of things. And so this particular program, and like I said, it's 5 months, and we actually get to tap into to the 10 different components. So we actually get to tap into a little bit more about who am I, being able to tap into my essence. So like that inner piece of who it is that you are, and being able to explore walking on eggshells. So the one section is actually called Stop Walking on Eggshells. codependency. So being able to set boundaries and figuring out how to be able to have more of that healthier boundaries, being able to identify your triggers. And the reason why that is in there is simply because we want to make sure that why is it that I'm doing something again that I'm like set my mind into, I'm not doing this anymore, but yet it's like, it's coming back up again, and I'm doing it again. Or I set my boundaries and I thought everything was good, and now I'm like back at it again. Or that negative self-talk, or potentially it could be binge eating, or falling back into some old patterns of things that we thought we had already dealt with. And so that's like a really, like, not that the other ones aren't important, but like that's a really big piece for a lot of people, and being able to identify them and being able to figure out how to be able to make those changes. And again, maybe this round it's only going to be one change that you're going to be making. The other one is my inner child, healing tools and gifts, releasing the pain. I am enough, and my forecast. And so within that forecast is like, and I always do the within the forecast. So like, what's my forecast is that we actually talk about like the women that are actually coming together and what are some of the things that we have seen in those 5 months. And so my forecast isn't just my forecast, it's also like, what are some of the other people seeing, right? What are some of the other people that have actually tapped into the situation or whatever it is that's going on, and how do they see things differently? Because sometimes we get so blinded by the things that are actually going on and what it is that's happening that we forget that we have other things going on. So the something that I have for you is that sister soul medicine, and being able to come together and having that community. And obviously the community is, we're working on having the community outside of Facebook in case something happens, but like all of the lessons and stuff are actually inside a private portal, so you have access to being able to get into that part of things. And so, but we have that opportunity for us to be able to get to know each other, and having those conversations, and being able to have that and connection. I always go back to the word connection, because so many people that I work with often feel like they're completely isolated, and so they don't feel like they have whatever it takes to be able to like make the changes, or how am I going to do this differently, or how am I going to be able to have that conversation. And so we get to tap into a lot more about what is it that's happening and how can we do that. And so every other week when we come together is that you bring forward whatever it is that you have that you want to be able to address, and then we address it. And so we talk about it. And one of the things that I always find really, really interesting is that, and it always seems to happen, is that there always seems to be at least one theme where a lot of people are coming together and we're having that part of things. And so if this sounds like this is something that you want to be able to tap into, or that you want to be able to get into, is just say me in the comments and let me know that you are definitely interested, and I will give you the and I will get to the link. And or if you're not quite sure if this is really what it is that you want to be doing, then I can give you we can jump on a call together and we can have that conversation about whether or not this is really the best fit for you, as to what it is that we want to be able to, like, what it is that you want to be able to tap into. And like I said, there's a lot of other tools that are there that have that opportunity. So things like being able to learn how to be able to tap into your chakras, and maybe you already know, and so it allows you to be able to like have that accountability, and being able to tap into who you are at a soul level. And like, so what is your personality? What are some of the things that you have going on? Because that is like inherently who you are, and it allows you to be able to kind of tap into that. I have different audio meditations. I have a creating balance using the medicine wheel, and being able to do some energy healing and theta healing and that kind of thing. So I'm in 100%. Absolutely, Francine. I can't wait till we get to join again. And so one of the things for people like Francine who've already been part of this is one of the things that I'm also offering, and I will send them a message and let them know as well, is that we have this opportunity for us to be able to connect with having this opportunity. So like if people like Francine who have found this to be really helpful, and I'm speaking for Francine because she's like here, but I also know that she's actually publicly shared that as well, is that it has made a huge difference in her life about some of the things that are going on. So for people who've already been part of Sister Soul Medicine, which means that we've had 2 rounds of people, 2 rounds of groups that have actually been part of this. And so for those who have been and want to be able to help others make a change, is that I have a special invitation as well for you, because there's no cost for Francine or for anyone else that has already been part of it to be able to come back and join, is being able to invite a friend. And so with that is that if you invite a friend and your friend signs up, then we will actually set up so that you actually have a special accountability call where we actually set goals for each other, and so and be able to have that conversation, and being able to go. And so apparently it's almost time for our group, because there's Alexis who has just got home from school, and so she just got dropped off, and the other kids should be arriving very shortly. But if that is something that you're interested in, or like I said, if you've actually had if you have a friend who is interested, then shoot me a message and we will set something up that way. And and hello, beautiful Alexis. So but if you have any questions, that kind of thing, and over the next couple of days I will come back on and talk a little bit more in depth about this program, because there's only 5 spots available, 5 new spots, because obviously we have other people that are coming back. But so we have 5 new spots that are available. So if that is you and you want to be able to participate, and or you're not quite sure whether or not this is what you want to be able to do, then shoot me a message or comment below, and I will I'll get in touch with you and we will set up a time. And Francine says, love your gorgeous smile, Alexis.
Thank you.
So I will chat with all of you guys later, and I'm going to go get things ready for our little star group, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye for now.